Hello and welcome to Joe Teaches Al Dwarf Fortress.
My name is Joseph.
My name is Albert.
We're here at the fort.
We've got all kinds of mushrooms and stuff growing in our little tunnel there, Joe.
That leads to one of our projects this time around, the actual indoor forest cultivated.
Well, the way this goes, that's going to be about 3 episodes down the road.
Yes.
But I guess we could announce we're aiming for that at some point.
I want to tinker with this. I doubt they'll grow into trees here, 1 level deep. That seems like something that would be prevented in the Dwarf Fortress world. We're going to actually
assume that.
dig it like a this way, going down. Well, I'll show you when we do that. Of note, though, is this is our barracks. We finally got those dug out. You kept reminding me to do a military. And we had a wave of migrants last time that came in. If anyone's really keeping track of things, I did tinker a bit in the off there. I added another farmer and another brewer. So we have...
I really want to meet that fan. I want to meet the guy who's like, wait a minute. That's not the same as it was last time. He's been doing stuff off camera.
It's possibly that guy who made...
I want to get that angry letter from someone who's paying that close attention, please.
The guy who made Space Invaders.
Oh,
amazing.
Do you see that? Yes. If for those of you who haven't seen, stop watching this video because, we're unconsequential. Maybe you can come back, maybe you won't, but definitely go watch the video of the guy who made Space Invaders in Dwarf Fortress with Dwarf Fortress mechanics. I asked a question on the forum, and I don't know if I got an answer, but I don't remember getting an answer. How do the mechanics of that work? Like, there's no mechanisms in Dwarf Fortress in the sense of Minecraft where things happen automatically. So each motion has to be a dwarf, right?
Okay, that's my weapon.
Hitting a lever?
Yeah, I mean, okay, his short answer was macros, lots of macros, which I found funny, and that's probably pretty accurate. Vabbog? I'm also... Real quick, while we're discussing this, I'm going to be taking all 9 of the recent immigrants. They're going to form a squad, and I'm just looking for who's going to be the 10th dwarf in that squad, so I'm looking for some disciplined Vabbog.
So you could make one of our original guys the leader of that.
There's almost no benefit to that. They have almost no military skills. Rimtar here. Maybe okay, let's see what Rimtar is.
That's never stopped people historically from making people military leaders, has it?
Rimtar it is. Rimtar Veshatar. And doing the leader, it's usually best, especially for the first squad. I think you have to do it here in the Creative Leaps, the actual game, and then you can use Dwarf Therapist to fill out your Rimtar Veshutar. Okay.
You have Tony Sith code in there?
Yeah.
I thought
in the military?
Yeah, in the military.
No. I only just made the military and just...
I thought that you were in a squad there.
Yeah, but it was all empty, and it was Rimtar Vishtar. And then all 9 of the new dwarves are going in there, into the Creative Leaps. So the way he did Space Invaders, the graphics were hatches opening and closing.
Right, I got that.
And I believe on the right was just tons of levers. And he had macros set to have dwarves run it and pull certain levers that were linked to certain graphics, and they would move the things across the screen. I don't know how the playing worked. I did not see anything that answered that, so I'm not sure if it was a video, like that was the only quote-unquote game that could be done in-game.
Oh, and you think it had to be interactive, right? Oh, I'm going to be sad if it wasn't interactive.
Yeah, I mean, I want it to be, obviously. I'm with you there, but I don't know. I did not see an actual answer for that. So here we're going to put weapon rack in and an armor stand for the Creative Leaps. They get a door, too. How's that? Fancy y'all.
So we want people just wandering in while we're doing our martial training.
And now we're going to try and make this forest.
I know you designated an armor stand. I guess they're going to work on that.
Yep, they'll bring it in.
Shortly.
Well, it's already been built at the Mason. And now here they come with the door. And here they come with the armor stand. And here they come with the other armor stand. Or the weapon rack, or whatever I said to do. We will, now that those are in place.
Exposed dirt.
Oh, interesting.
Is that exposed? Is that up higher where you can get down to that?
This bloop of orange that just showed up?
Yeah.
No, this is it's roots, I'm guessing. You can sort of see through it and see up to these walls again.
Okay. I was worried that it was going to expose this, because the whole point of doing this tree experiment is to...
enclosed, yes.
Yes, to have a fort that does not have to be accessible to the outside world.
Yes.
And trees and plants are really the only things you have to have from outside, and if you can avoid that. Now, granted, you would cut yourself off from things like
Caravans and certain plants are underground, certain plants are above ground. So that definitely swaps around.
But you can still eat with underground plants.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have
you live off of plum
pellets.
pellets. All right, I'm doing the military scheduling. This is always...
I don't know if we're ever actually going to get to that, but as a theoretical idea, it should be interesting.
I'm going to actually do 9. These guys have no other job, so I want 9 of them doing their thing.
Have you looked at the pairing off of training partners?
I sort of looked into that. However, I also read that there was a bug fix about that, so I'm not sure where that stands. And you want to explain what you're talking about?
Well, we talked about it in a few episodes ago how that you set them to train a certain number, but they're sparring partners and they'll only do 2 sparring at a time, and everybody just stand around and watch 2 of them spar. And there's a way to make the whole squad train individually, if that makes sense. It makes sense kind of to me.
It makes sense, but
Vomit Patrol.
It also sounds like a lot of not great content. And I understand that would help a lot, but I've never... it's not like they won't do anything. You will start to ramp up, especially as you add weapons and stuff.
Okay, Joe, I guess if you don't want to have an awesome military.
And again, there was a bug fix about that. What I am doing, and I've found this is also from our readers or viewers, so you make a burrow out here, right?
Right.
We can name it whichever you want. I always name it Vomit Patrol now. Then we go to military. Got to burrows. And we go to schedule. And for 3 months out of the year, we edit this order, E, for month of granite. Okay, and then it's O to change the order. Defend burrow. Yes, we want that. Vomit Patrol. That is being defended. Back out. That didn't hold. It's still training. Why are you doing this? Oh, it's Shift Enter to be done. Okay. Defend burrow.
Keystrokes.
Shift Enter. Copy this. So for 3 months, they're going to go and basically stand out in the sunlight. That prevents them... Do you know what?
From getting daylight messed up?
Yes.
Things.
So if you do have to have them fight outside, they won't... And this has happened with a lot of early forts of mine. I send my squads out to battle something, and they just get outside the door and just pause, and everyone just starts throwing up everywhere. Not the most...
Which is ironic, because a lot of your other dwarves end up outside.
Yeah.
Somewhat frequently.
The plant gatherers and stuff definitely could be good for that, but, it's just a thing. This solves that very nicely.
I like the idea of the military just standing outside the fort for 3 months out of the year.
Just getting sun.
Yeah. Man, a goblin might come by or something. Pass me that suntan lotion.
All right, so we are now going to experiment with a little bit. All right, how big? We're going to make our forest. No, that's not big enough. 1, 2. Oh, 1 more. So we'll see how quickly what I'm doing here is going to flow into your head.
Okay.
I have an idea of how to do this, and I'm going to just do it, and we'll see if you follow it.
Okay, that's good. I'm watching.
Yes.
And learning. I'm hoping you don't hit a bunch of rock and running out of soil, because that would suck.
The mountain does obey our every whim. That's a thing we would have to tinker with, and it's probably going to happen, to be honest, but I see
it happening right here.
Yep. It's okay.
I don't know how to play soil, so I'll have to wait and see how that works. Because
we haven't done that, but I think you've read about it.
No,
it's really simple.
There's a screw pump thing where you pour water on dirt to make it soil.
Yes,
but that doesn't work for rock, does it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because we did do.
Yeah.
We did do a screw pump,
but
it didn't get recorded. That was in the lost sessions.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to doing a screw pump, or maybe just
we'll
water through here.
We'll figure it out, but we have to get water into here. Yes, that's all you have to do is make it watery.
Okay. I thought it only worked on stuff that was already dirt, but was not soil. I didn't realize it would work on rock. It just water just instantly dissolves rock into soil.
I think it leaves behind muddiness, which there's like, all right, that's fine. You can farm that.
Okay.
All right, I probably should also make some weapons. What are not what I wanted, my stocks? What sort of smelting am I doing? I do forget that. Down. Not a lot. I have 5 copper bars and 11 charcoal. Why do I have charcoal if we did the magma forges?
Well, you did build the other thing.
I guess I did. Yes, I did for a bit. All right, so we have to go down and actually make these guys smelt things.
So to recap, for those of you who did not watch the previous episode, shame on you. is the recap. Also, Joe built some magma-powered smelters and things down here.
I got one of each in, so I guess that's what we're going with for now.
Yes, which means we don't have to worry about charcoal.
Yes.
And doing that crap.
Correct.
With wood. Another thing that will make us possible to batten down the hatches and never see the light of day if we want to.
Very true.
Except for our military, who will go out and get sun for 3 months out of the year.
On the vomit patrol. I do not have great metals. I think that was one thing we were a little... I've got sphalerite. All right, so here's what I can smelt. Gold, silver, galena, cassiterite. I'm already out of sphalerite, really? Okay. None of those things jump out at me as great things to have, unfortunately. But I forget.
You did designate a exploratory mine, correct?
Yeah, I think I did.
I don't know what level that was on, but
you have silver right here.
I remember that happening.
They give them silver hammers. That's not the worst thing in the world. Silver armor, I'm not sure what that does. All right.
You're going to have to make your room look wonky to get that silver, though.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
How is that fine with you? First of all, you're like, well, the door has to be in the middle here. And then you're like, you know what? No, we're just, the room can be not a square or even any kind of shape.
When it comes to mining, down there, the square door is because of the constant pausing. I've actually tried this in other forts since you were like, well, can't you just do the square over and over again? So much worse than if you can just do the edges of the square and keep slightly pushing it out. No pauses.
No. I'm talking about like putting your doors in the middle of the walls and stuff. You're way more into aesthetics than I am.
Yes, but not when it comes to mining. When it's mining, it's mining. Mining.
It's in your smelting place. The dwarves have to work there. They're gonna be like, oh, there's that giant hole in the wall where we smelted that vein. It just looks awful.
Yeah. To be fair, I didn't mine that.
Fair enough.
I noted.
You said you were okay with it though. Were you? Well, maybe he was lying. We can't tell. I like how they're going in a line here with this.
I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Trench.
That's a lot of designated channeling, and there could be some interesting things that
they can get up from there, right? Because there's
one
a
level
ramp
down,
at
and
the edge.
this will end up being up ramps. And as I dig down, I'm just going to keep making it further.
How far down do you intend to dig?
That's the question. How far down How tall of a room do you think we need to grow trees?
You want me to look this up, or do you want me to guess?
Both.
I think I would say. I don't know. I mean, in the world, they'll get up 5 and 6 Z levels easy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a requirement.
I don't either.
I mean, technically, we already have those spawns growing for the trees, so they're already kind of trees. They're just not probably chop downable to get any actual level of wood. So I guess it kind of probably depends on how much wood do you want, Joe? How much wood do you want?
I feel like there's a hard limit.
There is a hard limit to how much wood you want.
What? Yes?
Joe said that, not me. Pointing that out.
I mean, I believe there's probably a limit to, or a max level you need to hit before trees will grow. That's what I'm guessing. And I don't.
Okay, well, I'm going to look it up.
I'm at
Joe.
5 or 6.
I will be looking away from your playtime to get to Dwarf Fortress Wiki.
There's our sweet, sweet statues. It's actually sort of my plan for the temple, too, to be honest. A giant, big room like this. Baby, come back. And then...
Trees are used as a source of wood, Joe.
Oh!
To this. This is not Wikipedia, by the way. This is DF Wiki.
You're positive now.
It does not say specifically. It says above ground trees will only grow in areas where there is a sufficient soil 1 Z level beneath them.
Okay, so it sounds like 2 is the...
But underground trees not only ignore this restriction for dry subterranean soil, but will also grow on muddy subterranean stone.
Right.
Which is what we're going to do with the water.
Correct. That I actually had assumed. Didn't even think that might be a problem, but... That's why you make an ass out of you.
I don't see anything about how tall your room has to be. But again, I don't think that there's any downside in digging it at least 3 or 4 levels deep.
Let's try this. Can I chop down these as trees? I cannot.
Okay. You can't.
That is not a thing I can do. Can I gather them as plants? That would be a thing, huh? Oh, that little guy down there is gatherable. What is that?
Well, I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know, Joe. What is it? It's a quarry bush.
don't actually expect you to answer me when I say things like, "What is that on the screen that you can't even interact with?"
Now, each time we go down, you have to leave a ramp, right? So
Yes.
it's going to get smaller each time.
Sort of. I could just dig downstairs too, but
that's not fun.
No, it is. It's ramping down. Bloop. And then this one will be here. Oh, that's done. So we're going to knock out these ramps. So yes, it will be here-ish. And then what's really going to be fun is the flooding part.
Well, we can build a channel for the water that theoretically shouldn't interact with anything else in the fort at all.
We can do lots of things. Okay, so let's... Wow, look how dark that is. That's scary.
Ooh.
How would you flood this little... or get water into here?
Well, I guess I would start by digging toward this little... Well, maybe not toward... I tried to scroll down on the screen. With the mouse wheel, which doesn't even work. Thank you. It says not even in the real game. I would probably dig a starter channel down kind of across the hallway, or maybe even under, because we have all those Z levels. And then put a floodgate into the starter channel without flooding it, obviously, and then attach a lever and all that stuff, and then finish digging out towards the water that we have in our little pond up a couple levels and to the right.
Not bad.
And let it flood through there.
I like that. Let's start that. There's going to be a lot of rocks.
This is turning out nice.
Got to get those out of the way, I guess.
Do they fall down? So you haven't DBD'd this yet. Correct. So do the ones from the upper level just fall down to the next level as they're digging?
They
do. That's interesting. I wonder how much density of rocks you could get.
It's looking pretty dense down here.
It is looking pretty dense. That's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah. I'm guessing.
Do they stack?
That's a really good question. That's a cavern floor. For some reason, that didn't say me there was a rock there. Looks like we got one per right now.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Edelunite and Aralolite.
Blah, blah.
That looked like two.
Ba-da-da.
Ba-da-ba-da.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Ba-da-ba-da. I love this impossible situation here. Oh no, I guess it's a ramp. You could have just ramps everywhere, and they all go in all directions.
It's not... I think the directionality of the ramps is tricky because they show arrows, but they're not really in that direction.
No, not even close. They're in whatever direction they need to be.
So it's just a hole.
Well, no,
it's just a hole with slopes on the sides.
Yes, but how do you have two holes with slopes on the sides next to each other that you can also pass from one to the other without climbing? It's... Again, people...
Listen, stop ruining our fun.
It's one of those things that's... Yeah... I've lost track of how many Z levels we've done now.
I thought this was at least
2, 3, 4.
I was thinking it might have been 5, but it is not.
We're going to hit one more. All right, so that's there.
Now you're going to go into the delta?
Yeah, we're going to just ping right into that delta.
Okay. I'm worried that the water flow will not be sufficient there, but
I was actually worried it's going to come flying out and I'll have to somehow or other drain our tree basin. Ooh, Albert Bert Gonzalez has become a broker.
Yeah, I have.
I don't know why you weren't a broker before that.
It takes me a while to get around to some things, Joe. Sometimes. I'm working on it.
Downward slope.
Don't forget to build your floodgate, by the way.
Yes. I was a little confused why they aren't. I guess they have to do this first. We're going to go one more. I've decided.
Okay. And each time, the area gets smaller.
There's a bit of tree. This is kind of how I was going to build the temple, too. It just seemed like a good way to get a big, massive...
Well, you better build the temple in a more interesting shape than a rectangle, is all I've got to say.
It's going to be filled with statues. Yeah, I think I'm going to have...
It still better be a more interesting shape than a rectangle. We've never done non-rectangular shapes in here before.
That's true.
On purpose. This is going to be a breakthrough for Joe Teaches Al.
Yes.
Where we finally decide to use a different shape than a straight-sided thing.
This is true.
That's what I've decided, Joe. I could you want me to start designing? I'll design the temple.
Yes.
We need to have pillars and
Could we have a pillar made out of Michelangelo's statues?
I don't think so. You can't stack them, can you?
Can't you build a statue on top? I don't know. Maybe you can build a statue on top of a statue.
I was thinking you would just sort of dig them out.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. And I guess we can. Well, then we can engrave those up and down.
Right. I also was thinking that myself.
Is my engraver getting some training? Let's double check that. What is he up to? His current job is detail wall. Okay, good. He is slowly.
Gonna build a pimpin' temple.
I think I should probably throw another one on there. Not Michelangelo, but Jesus. No, Jesus has to be my carpenter. Whoa, this guy. Turn you onto a hauler, then clear your custom profession name, and then make you a stone detailer.
Commit.
All right. He will also start. Whoa! What was that?
People I think are becoming unconscious from miasma. A section of the cavern has collapsed.
I think whoops. So, what was underneath this was my previous.
Joe, did you just do that? Did you? I was wishing for a cavern collapse, but I didn't want you to initiate one on purpose.
I didn't initiate that on purpose. That was so not initiated on purpose.
So what do we? Are these connected now?
Oh yeah, there's just a giant hole leading up to here.
Hold on. Wait. Where's the hole at?
Okay, so they channeled down to here, but they did it in a. I guess they did it in a circle, or I guess because there wasn't a level underneath. As soon as they dug this, I can't figure out where exactly the culprit is.
Are we still looking at floor, or did all of this collapse?
These are ramps, and then down here is where they were channeling to. This is the.
So we don't have
bottom.
An arboretum anymore, is what you're saying?
Oh, we will.
We have
an open air duckling farm. We also, good lord, killed 2 people.
Well, you dropped the whole arboretum on them.
Killed the captain of the guard and one of my miners. Man, bummer.
That is a bummer. I didn't think to ask you. We haven't even been on the main level, I think, at all. It was weird. I was like, oh, we're going back to look at the statue stockpile. Why is that? And
right,
at least you didn't kill Michelangelo.
Yeah, I didn't kill Michelangelo.
Because that's the important guy.
So now the question is, what do I do here?
You can build a floor, but can you? I guess you can flood that and still make it muddy.
I don't know about floors, to be honest.
Pretty sure if it brings in silt and stuff, it should be able to be. Right? That makes sense.
I guess, but then I have to build a floor all the way across the top here, which is kind of.
Yeah, you do.
Not the easiest. No, I can make this. I can wall off. All right, here's what I can do. None of this is important, so we're gonna remove that. Remove that.
What are you moving though?
These are nest boxes. These are beds. Those are gone now.
So we're just gonna have the forest in the main part of the fort?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're gonna be dropping water down into here.
I'm well aware of that. I'm gonna build walls for some containment.
Yeah, and you can put doors up, and doors usually hold back the water pretty well. And we're not talking about making it real deep. So that should.
I think I didn't go even further. Okay.
Yeah, it is good. It is a good thing. I mean, you couldn't have. It was physically impossible for you to go further.
Here's where the wall is. Excuse us. No, not like that. There's all right.
What do you do? That you're gonna leave that other thing just open?
Which other thing?
That weird little room?
I haven't exactly planned out every step here. I just want to get this wall.
Okay.
Make sure it's marked out. But
I feel like you're just zeroed in on this is the best thing ever, and it's not, Joe.
Which isn't?
You fell down into our fort. It's not where we planned to put.
What's the best thing ever?
You're just keeping going like nothing happened. Like, yep. All right, we're just gonna keep pulling this off.
Well, what did you want me to do? You just wanted to build a floor over it and ignore it and go back up some Z levels. At least I'm doing something with the problem. Ow.
I
Two
wanted
people
to
died.
retain this section.
You wanted to do what?
I wanted to retain the fort. Like, I guess it'll be okay to have trees in the fort. What is in here right now? It was just like stockpile
Again,
stuff.
it was the back end of a nest box room and the back end of a dormitory.
Did we even talk about what a nest box? I forget what a nest box does. You mentioned at the time, I think, that you built it. You're like, I don't really haven't really done that.
Dormitory. It's gonna be fine. A nest box, I did mention, if you usually start off with some birds, they're a great early food source. You build a nest box, you build it anywhere, the birds don't care, and they lay eggs in them. And I guess that they're needed for breeding too. I'm not positive on that, but so they're just a source of eggness. I'm actually going to rebuild those nest boxes, and you'll see the birds come in and claim them. It's kind of fun, but it's a nice early food source and a nice consistent food source. Not even early. And those are nest boxes. Now the nest box room is slightly narrower. I'm okay with that. The dormitory's been, done. I need to wall this off, and then we can get back to.
Yeah, isn't that in a stockpile?
Stockpile got a little truncated, but that's also okay. I'm removing the designation for the stockpile. And then
I guess we weren't really doing that much with that room then.
I mean, there are worse places this could have come flying into.
Well, yes.
I mean, it only clipped this much of the fort too. Yeah, it could have been over here. I would have been seriously bummed by that. I'm not sure I would have regrouped quite so quickly. But here is just a matter.
That's what you just have to build a floor and then put silty mud on top of it.
That's a great idea. I'm honestly not sure. Do you remember when your thing flooded and they started cleaning the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I told them to do that though. I didn't want the mud on the floor. You cannot tell them to clean to smooth the floor.
You're gonna not tell them to smooth the floor. I have you there. You have to admit that.
Yeah. No, that was. Wow.
Bazumba!
I'm just sitting here stunned in my chair. I've never had a zinger that hard. Especially when we were trying to get to wood.
I feel like that's a sexual joke, but I'm not biting on that.
It wasn't actually all that good. I was going for it, and it just kind of. Sometimes you swing and you miss, Joe. All right, it's okay.
Ah, crap. Wait, can they get to
what
that?
Happened?
They can't. I have to build some up ramps.
Oh, there's like one block or two. I can't tell what is open space and what isn't.
Oh yeah, it's confusing. But so this ramps down to nothing, to a drop.
Right.
So I'm gonna build some ramps here. So that ramp.
It works so perfectly too. You built it right into there. Yeah. Are you sure this isn't some troll where you're just like, I'll build down into my other room and I'll never know, or I'll get him because he didn't notice. Well, how did you do that so perfectly?
I didn't. I think you're confused.
It's right to the edge.
Right here?
The ramps. Yeah, go up 1 Z level. Yeah, they're like that goes right where it needs to go.
This ramp? This is part of the actual digging down process. And then this.
Yeah, it's right there on the edge of the other ramp.
Yeah, that's because what channeling does. Up here, I then channeled one.
Positioned perfectly.
That's because I channeled it correctly. I'm a little confused here, and I think you're forgetting how channeling works, but maybe not, so I'm going to listen.
You didn't plan to channel down into this room.
No, but this room was created largely in part of the channeling. The fort was only out to this wall.
Okay. See, I thought that big room there was just something that existed
This whole area, if I had been 5 to the left, would have just been a room. But it popped over just enough. These 4 squares, when they started channeling down, brought down the roof of this much.
I'm just dumb.
You just forgot how channeling worked. That's okay.
Well, I understood. I guess I thought they channeled down into all of the open space. I got that they...
Yes, I think I understand now. No, this whole area, I did not happen to come into this random room. This room is here because that's where I channeled into.
Okay.
So no, that is not a giant troll.
Get into hauling, you guys.
They're hauling. They're bringing
all the crap.
Let's see if this is built. All right, let's hook this up to.
What was the other thing we were going to work on, by the way?
Military's well,
equipped.
One's in there right now, and military's not equipped. I'm going to check and see how the smelting is going.
They've suspended the construction of the ramp, by the way.
Yeah, that's going to happen a couple times. Just because of there's stuff in the way and they're moving things around and rocks are getting moved. And there's a fish. Just flopping around. Nope, he's gone. What? Nope, there he is.
What the heck? How is that?
That's a lungfish.
Oh, he's a lungfish. They get out. I got it. That's a long way from home, though, because he can't... He had to get out of the river, go down. We haven't made the connection yet. That's awesome.
I guess I'm going to make... Okay, I do need bins. I'm going to make some tin bins. Oh,
tin bin.
Tin bin. Platinum bin? No, tin bin.
The Adventures of Tin Bin?
Yes, with Aster Rocks.
Directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, when is that coming out? Did that come out?
Are you serious? It's been out for like 5 years.
Okay, so it didn't really make a splash, is what I'm guessing?
People, I think it was well liked, but it didn't do well financially.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who went to see it liked it, but most people were like, "What is this Tintin Adventures thing? I don't know. I've never heard of that." And then
if it was a good movie, people would have been, "Oh, a good movie. I know what a good movie is," and they would have gone.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
I do. It had the marketing behind it. I'll put it that way. It wasn't like it was like,
You didn't know that it had come out
because I was aware of it, and then I always just wait until other people see things. That's my basis for what I'm going to see. And when no one talked about it, no one with kids I know talked about it. No one with 12-year-olds. No one, young, old, male, like no one mentioned it again.
That's because nobody went to see it. It doesn't mean it wasn't a good movie, Joe.
I think they're somewhat related. Again, it's not like it had Spielberg. People weren't like, "What's this Spielberg guy?" People went to see freaking... I'm trying to name a bad Spielberg movie, but I'm really more focused on Dwarf Fortress at the moment. That movie that he made.
Bridge of Spies was not a giant financial success.
Well, that was Oscar bait.
Oh, right. So we're gonna... Okay. Well, it worked, apparently.
I need to build a wall here, guys. I'm not sure if this is...
It's not clear yet. They haven't...
Well, I forgot to tell them to clear that little part there.
Will they clear it as they build the wall, or move the stuff?
I don't think they'll do that. It depends.
Just did.
It depends on their... Well, I just told them to clear it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling them to build the wall.
No. Now I'm going to tell them to build the wall. But I also need a way in here. That would probably help too, right?
There is one on the... Wait. I'm forgetting what's floors and what's not floors. Those walls are not walls. Some of those are built walls and some of those are... Yes. Okay. So you need a way in, for sure.
That'll be my way.
Sure enough.
The ramps are built. Everyone can get up and down. That... is still floor, unfortunately. That's going to be annoying. Right here, still floor.
Well, build a stair up to it, or a ramp.
Exactly what I'm going to do, but it's just sort of like, oh, I can't do that. I mean, they can't. It's just dangling there above their heads. Really not easy to do.
All you got to do is mine off the one on the end.
No, I'm not doing that. You are correct, but I'm not going to do it that way. And kill all these people hauling rocks underneath.
Well, we'll wait for them to finish.
Kill the guy who has to stand up there. You would have a guy literally standing up there. Like a Looney Tunes cartoon, chiseling out his own doom.
He wouldn't have to stand. He would stand on the ramp.
Maybe. You're giving him way too much. Is this floor too? No, it's open space.
You don't. In Eurus, we trust. They're dwarves. They know how to mine things.
The question is, will the ramp hold that up? Because I built the ramp in the wrong place then. Not sure what's going on here.
I can't... The Z levels are confusing me.
Well, this should start blinking as someone's like, oh, I need to go do that. But it's not. Do I need to build it? I thought the ramp got built, but there's no indication of it. That's a ramp.
I don't see it. Oh, okay.
I think that's a ramp.
Is it in the right place?
Unusable rock. Well, apparently not. Nope, I built it.
It's unusable.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you did not build it in the right place. Ha!
Stupid dwarves mocking me. Well, I'm going to do it the smart way now. Yeah, that's the smart way.
Well, now the thing won't fall down because you have that ramp underneath just holding it up. Or does it? Does a ramp count as like? Will it hold things
That's
up?
a really good question.
I don't know.
I've not experimented a whole lot with like cave-ins. I was thinking about. Nope, still not working.
You need to build another ramp.
Where?
Or wait, yeah, because they got no. That's a
Rough. Okay, this is an
I'm
upward
confused.
slope up to here. That seems like it should be able to access this floor. Walk out here and channel that out. That ain't happening. I don't know why.
What's to the right of that floor? Is that just regular floor? Why isn't that designated a channel?
This is all floor. Because I don't want them channeling out this one first by random luck and having this collapse. So I'm going to have them channel in, and then do that one. But they're not...
I just thought maybe I was misunderstanding. I would try to designate that one and see if it flashes, and you can undesignate it. That's the only thing I can think of is maybe there's a weird pathing thing. Oh yeah, see, they're going to go do that.
Why? I hate dwarves.
Maybe it's... Where's that ramp built? Is it built right underneath there?
Yeah.
Maybe they can't dig down with the ramp right underneath of it?
I mean, that's sort of possible. I'm going to see what happens when he... No, wait! Ah!
I told you didn't want to do that. I said you undesignate.
You did. So, I'm just going to build ramps everywhere, and one of them will eventually...
All the ramps!
Okay, now we have ramps everywhere. Is that... Still not blinking. I need to build a ramp under that? Why would I have to build a ramp under that?
No, you want to remove the ramp that's under it.
No, this one doesn't have a ramp. The only one that blinked was the one that had a ramp under it. You can figure that out.
I can't figure that out, Joe. Maybe they're saying that...
No.
Maybe because... No.
Yeah, we're going to do this and see what happens.
What happens if you tell them to mine that instead of...
Oh, it happened again, I think.
We have struck shell open.
Oh, no, it's a Fey mood. Okay. Fey mood. Fey mood.
I was going to say, how would there be a collapse up here? We didn't mine that out.
That's true. I'm just... Yep, there he goes. Something collapsed.
And that guy is hurt. He left unconscious.
Son of a freaking... How stupid are you people? I built this perfectly. And these people are too dumb to do it right.
What collapsed? Where is the part that collapsed?
I don't know!
I guess they finally got that one piece, but it shouldn't have collapsed because...
Clearly, I'm not understanding what's happening here.
I don't know if... Well, there's that floor that's just hanging in the middle of nowhere now. I guess
this is open space. This is open space.
So they're connected to those ramps.
This is floor. Right here.
If we remove the ramp... Wait, the purple ones or the darker blue is open space?
Where are the X's right now? Everything else is either ramp that you can see or open space. This is open space.
Oh, it is. Why is it a different color?
I don't know. I really don't. That one's got me lost. This is the only piece of floor left. It's got 2 ramps.
3 ramps adjacent to it.
Yes, the diagonal 2. But no. Great. You claimed a magma glass furnace. That's going to be interesting.
We don't have any sand. Wait, no, we got sand, right?
Yeah.
It's the trading.
You must have rock something. Sand hides,
have rock blocks, plant cloth, and raw green glass. Sorry.
Mother of... I don't have...
Also,
how is he...
You're
in the glass furnace, you jackass! Ugh.
He wants raw green glass. Raw green glass.
That is the thing that he wants, apparently.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to build another magma furnace.
All right, we can't kick him out of there because of...
Because of...
Because it's his mood.
Well, they're channeling that. That's good. This, no. Man, that just opened up worms everywhere.
Maybe knock down some of the...
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to move all these ramps away now.
Okay.
Bye-bye, ramps. And then we're gonna try it again with stairs. I could do... Wait. Upstairs. Here. And then up here, we're going to build a downstair.
We're coming to the end of our time, by the way, Joe.
What?
So this is going to be our triumphant finale.
Come on! I killed
one
like
floor
8
out of the way.
dwarfs. That's no good. Look, though, they are consolidating all of the stuff into the bins.
I see that. Yeah, it looks a lot more tidy.
That's a thing that we're doing.
Here he comes. He dug down into the magma.
He did, so we can get our other glass furnace with the sand we don't have.
I thought we traded for sand.
We did. I'm not sure if I used it, though. Did I use it?
I didn't see you use it.
Oh, we have plenty of sand. Well, not plenty of sand, but we have sand. So that's the thing. I guess I got to kill an animal, too.
Yep. Just focus on the floor.
They're doing the ramps. Oh, wait, I go to animals. Z, animals. Cow. Ooh. Oh, nice. I actually have some sort of breeding stock going here. I have a lot of sterile things, too.
How can you tell if it's sterile?
It's a donkey and a mule.
Oh, okay. I thought there was like a little icon.
I have based on the genetic.
Nope, you cut his balls off. Which we can geld, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's
a thing.
We built the stair. The stair is built. I saw it.
Upstairs is built. Now we build the downstairs here. Oops, drink.
They could still get up there, though, right? In theory.
Hey, it's working!
Finally.
Never, ever use ramps. That's what I've learned. Just dig a stair.
Build a stair.
Build a stair.
In this case. You can dig a stair, but that's a different operation.
Correct. I'm just going to throw some blocks into the queue, make sure those are done. Just killed an animal, so he should have leather.
Go. Yes!
Okay, now I have to take this stair and remove it.
Will he be able to get down after he removes the upstair or the downstair?
Yeah, I would hope so. If it's that asinine, then I'm just... Oh god, this guy's just lying here. I need to build a hospital. Shiza. And I need plant cloth? That's what that guy wanted?
Yep.
Alright, we should probably...
Plant processing.
Yep.
Next time on Joe Teaches Al Dwarf Fortress, Joe makes some cloth from plant.
Oh, a duck.
And we flood this room.
Yes, that will happen next time.
We definitely did build a big box, though, in this episode.
Yes.
40 minutes of digging down and collapsing into our fort like we planned to, Joe. Like, it works perfectly now. Our woodcutter can just, step right off the hallway and be like, chop, chop.
I was gonna make a... I hate dwarves so much. I mean... Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe. Leave a comment with your theory about why the ramps are messed up.
Someone knows. Someone out there knows.
They do.
Also, while I'm thinking of it, let me double check who this guy is. If he's the only glassmaker we have, Ubal Fathschalig. He's not. Okay, so this guy, in theory, will go and make glass. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.